Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm back here with another video, and as of recently I really haven't reviewed a monitor in a good while now. I've reviewed everything from podcast equipment to earbuds and headphones, but not really monitors. So in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at the 22-inch class Philips monitor. Now, before I get into all the intricate stuff, just make sure you like and follow the channel just so you can stay tuned for more videos like this. So starting off, as I already mentioned, this is a 22-inch class monitor. And as for the ports that it has the power port, it has a VGA port, it has an aux port, and that's just for aux output, and as well as an HDMI port. The base is easy to set up and to connect to the monitor, and it should just take just a few minutes. Unfortunately, it cannot be changed or optimized to whatever height that you see fit. The fact that it cannot be changed to whatever height you want is countered to some extent by the fact that it is VESA compatible. So you can mount it on a monitor or a dual monitor setup or even a triple monitor setup. And all the buttons of the monitor are underneath, and just to elude from any confusions, the logos and icons will all be at the front of the monitor. Now, as for the main logo, it's kind of weird. I don't know why they made it this way, but it just kind of like sticks out like a big bumper, like a bump at the front of the monitor. Why they did this, I don't know. It's not aesthetically pleasing to look at the monitor from whichever angle you want to look at it, but whatever. And as for the bezels, it has extremely thin bezels. The screen is also a couple millimeters behind the bottom bezel, which again, why they went for this type of design is beyond me, but it still does look really immersive. Now, this monitor is a full HD monitor. It's 1920 by 1080p, and it has a 75 Hz refresh rate. For gamers, I may not necessarily recommend this. Like, it does have full HD, but at the same time the refresh rate is 75 Hz, and in this day and age I know most people, majority of people, a lot of people are going for 144 Hz and above, but it also does have adaptive FreeSync. I know the measurements for the monitor is 22 inches, but the official measurement is just 21.5 inches, so do with that information as you will. Also, it does have VA panels, so this just makes the whites much wider and the blacks as pitch black as possible. Now, as for the viewing angles, it offers a 178 degree divided by 178 degree viewing angles. Now, basically what this means is that it prevents the colors from shifting when you're looking at the monitor from a certain angle. If you're a few inches to the right or to the left, then it at least keeps the color stable and looking as accurate as possible. And as for the few perks that it has smart image for the monitor screen. It has a wide viewing angles, and one of my personal favorites, it has low blue mode, so this basically just reduces the blue light filters. I mean, I wear glasses with blue light lenses already, so having a monitor or laptop that has blue light capability, it just makes everything better when it comes to viewing angles for me. As for the performance, it comes with flicker free. This basically just regulates the brightness of the monitor and reduces flicker. Now, you can imagine this is good for eye strain especially, and it's also just good to keep you engaged in whatever you may be doing on the monitor. Now, when it comes to the bottom line of this monitor, it comes to 2 points. There's going to be the specs, and then there's going to be personal opinion. Now, as for the specs, I already gave them in the video. As it comes to projecting on this monitor from a laptop screen, I noticed that the whites got a little creamier, and as for the display, it was much brighter, but at the same time this should be expected going from a laptop to a monitor. And the things that stood out to me were, one, the performance of this monitor, given that it's a budget monitor, and considering that it really wasn't meant for anything excessive. And I was personally shocked at how good the viewing angles were on the monitor. It almost looked like 3D viewing angles, if that makes sense. Like transitioning from one video clip to the next kind of looked surreal given the type of monitor that it was and at what price point that you can get it for. And I've used high-end monitors, curved monitors, I've used MSI monitors. Not saying that this monitor compares to them, but this monitor does hold itself well in comparison to those monitors. And as for the movies, since there's more colors and explosions, for example, the colors still hold really well and maintain depth. but unfortunately the blacks kind of look a little washed out and the whites look washed out as well. But this may also be depending on the type of movie that you're watching, and honestly what type of settings that you may be using on the monitor at the specific time. And as for gaming, again, I personally would not recommend this monitor for gaming. However, if you do want to use it for gaming, I'll recommend that you use it to the highest possible specs possible on whatever console or monitor that you may be using. My overall rundown on this monitor is that it's a good monitor, especially given the price that you can get it for. And it kind of feels like this monitor genuinely does outperform itself. The one pet peeve that I have is that the base can't be adjusted to whatever height that I preferably would want to adjust it to. But at the end of the day, it's a solid monitor, and these are just some things that you're gonna have to cope with in exchange for it being a budget monitor. But at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. I'm JEDIJA. I'm out.